Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss about the written modes of professional communication. Different professions use different genres. However, you will note that there are communication materials that cut across professions. They communicate important information about a certain organization, event, or individual. Some of these communication materials are the memoranda, minutes of meetings, business letters, and the business proposals. First, let us talk about business letters. Business letters are common form of writing in any organization. The traditional parts of a business letter are heading, inside address, salutation, body, complementary clause, and the signature. Generally, we have two types of heading. We have the conventional and the modern. Under conventional heading, it includes the address of the writer and the date when the letter is written. On the other hand, on modern heading, it uses the company's stationery which bears the company's logo, the company's address, and the company's telephone number and other information. The date when the letter is written is just simply indicated. After the heading, it is followed by the inside address. So inside address, which indicates the name of the recipient of the letter, his or her designation or position in a company or organization, and the company's address. It is also possible that the recipient has no business or company affiliation. In this case, the letter writer merely indicates the recipient's address. So after the inside address, this is followed by the greeting or salutation. After the greeting and salutation, it is the body of the letter. So body of the letter is clear and focused. So the body has normally three parts or three paragraphs. So the first paragraph provides the reason for writing. The second paragraph gives more specific details about the information on the first paragraph, while the last paragraph emphasizes the reason for writing and expresses gratitude. And the next part is the complementary clause, and the last part is the signature. So we have here the template which illustrates the parts and formats of a business letter. So we have here a format of a business letter which uses the conventional heading. So under the conventional heading, we have the sender or the writer's contact information, which includes the address together with the date. Next is the inside address. So this is the recipient's contact information. So this is the receiver's contact information. So we have the name of the receiver. We have Mr. David Ruiz, which is a proprietor. So that is his designation or position. The next is the company, which is Zenith Enterprises. Then followed by the address of the company. After the inside address, we have the salutation. So the salutation is Dear Mr. Ruiz. Then after the salutation, we have the body of the letter, after which we have the complementary clause, which is Sincerely Yours. And lastly, we have the signature. So signature can be above type or printed name. We also have another template for a business letter which uses the modern heading. So as we can see on the top part, we have the company's logo. Then just below the company's logo, we have the date, then followed by the inside address, then salutation, body of the letter, complimentary close, and signature. So both templates are just the same. The only difference is their heading. So the first template uses the conventional heading and the second template uses the modern heading. Note that there is a need for you to adjust the content of your letter depending on the purpose for writing. As it is, there are different kinds of business letters. So we have the letter of application, letter of resignation, letter of acceptance, follow-up letter, and letter of appreciation. So it is also possible that you write professional emails when you apply for work or for other business purposes. Remember that when you write a business email or message, you write it the way you write any other business correspondence. So it is important that you always fill in the subject line so as not to leave the recipient of the message guessing as to what the message is all about. Then, begin your email with a professional greeting followed by the body, closing, and signature. So include your full name and contact information such as email address and phone number. So that is about business letters. Another communication material is the memorandum. So the term memorandum can be shortened or abbreviated by calling it a memo. So a memo is a Latin term which means it must be remembered. So the memo is usually and disseminated by those occupying mid-level positions and up. So it is written to serve as a reminder to one's constituents who need to do or act upon something. This is done so that the concerned constituents will be properly guided as to what to do next so that the errors in the organizational system or process can be avoided, or if already made or committed, it may or will not happen again. How do we write or how do we construct memorandum? As in any form of writing, you need to organize your thoughts very well so that clarity is achieved in the first instance or at the outset. The first part should contain the most important information. Thus, you should indicate the information you want and the reason for such by presenting relevant information. Then, the succeeding parts discusses in specific terms the information on the first part of the memo. Then, your conclusion should be clear. So, it should be clear so that the readers will know what to do after reading it. Note that an effective memorandum is one that is written in a powerful manner so that the readers will be convinced to act upon it. So address the memorandum only to those who are concerned. Then, an important reminder, you should review the memo before releasing it, especially when it contains confidential information. Remember that memos, just like any form of writing, can serve as a permanent record in any office or organization. So we have here a template for memorandum. So we have the title, memorandum, and after which we have the sendee followed by the sender, the date, when the memorandum is written and then followed by the subject. So sending a memo via electronic mail is acceptable, but you still need to follow the correct format. It is also better if a memo is sent as an attachment to the email. So that is about memorandum. A third important communication material is the minutes of a meeting. Organizations, institutions, agencies, and even smaller units or offices hold meetings from time to time. So it is important that things discussed in the meeting are documented. That is the minutes of the meeting. So that is a documentation of the things discussed in the meeting. So that is important because you can always refer to them when issues arise in the future. It is possible that any clarification on matters that have been previously addressed are found in the minutes of the meetings that are held in the past. Thus, it is important that records are kept properly. Soft and hard copies are also highly recommended. So we have here the template for the minutes of a meeting. So we have the title minutes of the meeting. Just below it, we have the name of the organization. And below the name of the organization, we have the date of the meeting was held. Then we have the list of attendees. We have the present and the absent. First part is the approval of agenda. Second part, review and approval of minutes of the previous meetings. Then we have the business arising from the minutes, then followed by new agenda, and last is the adjournment. Then we have the signature of the one who presented the minutes together with the date. Just below it, we have the approval of the person occupying the top position in the organization. Lastly, we have business proposal. When the company you work for wants to venture into a project with another organization, you may be asked to write a business proposal. So the purpose of business proposal is to attract clients or secure support from possible investors or organizations. So you may also write one for your own if you are a freelancer. Generally, proposals have the same template because there are numerous competing companies nowadays. It is important that you produce a well-written proposal so that you will have an edge over others. Your goal is having the proposal approved by your prospective client. So do your best to attain that objective. So you need to know and understand your target client in developing your proposal that has a sound methodology, a viable solution, and a realistic schedule and a reasonable and justifiable budget. A good proposal cannot be prepared overnight. So if you are targeting a client, research about it extensively. Know how it operates, design a method by which you can outshine other competitors who also wish to submit a proposal on the same ground. Note that some prospective clients you meet in the course of your career may suddenly request for a proposal to be prepared and submitted within a short notice. When this happens, and you are not able to get to produce a persuasive proposal, do not be disheartened as the experience will still add to your journey as a professional. Business proposals have four major parts. We have the executive summary, problem statement, proposed solution, and the costing. First, we have the executive summary. Executive summary highlights what your company is all about. So we have the services it provides, how it differs from others. So this should be your selling point. Think of an added value that you or your company can offer that will make it outdo the other organizations of the same nature. After the executive summary, proceed to the problem statement. So problem statement is what your prospective client is encountering. So the client should be convinced that you perfectly understand the situation that it is in. After it, this should be followed by proposed solution. Proposed solution explains how you can address or resolve the concern or concerns besetting the client. So you should then offer a sound method by which you will address the problem, spelling out the step-by-step procedure that you will employ to carry out your plan effectively. The step-by-step procedure will likewise require a timetable or the schedule for the completion of the project. So you need to make sure that your timetable is realistic. It is not a good idea that you merely impress your prospective client but are not able to deliver and meet the client's expectations. Stating a bit of your qualifications and your vast experience can be highlighted in this part so that you can convince the prospective client that you are the best choice and the most qualified to take on the job and bring success to the client. And the last major part is the costing. Under costing, you need to state the price of the services you will render if given the chance. So it's all up to you and your company if you want a one-time payment or a payment on a staggered basis depending on the nature of the project. Finally, there are no hard and fast rules as regards to the length of the proposal. What is more important is that it is complete with the information needed, including those that your prospective client may ask for. So those are the written modes of professional communication. Thank you for watching and I hope you have learned something.